So a few months ago, Ethersquare released his Dossier 3.0 for Palantir. This is Dossier 4.0. So in the last 3 months, he's updated all of these links and all of these new developments regarding Palantir's Foundry product. He's working on Cloud and other Palantir links, but this is just focused on Foundry right now. And it has 129 new entities since Dossier 3.0, which was, again, from my understanding, about 3 months ago. So look, Palantir's adding about 100 new entities per month to its commercial database. Now, what does that mean? Let's get into it. So these are some of the companies. We're going to break down some of the ones that you might recognize, but this is just a handful of the links that he was able to pull regarding code names and or the company just using their name on the Palantir Foundry subdomain. So here are some notable companies: Johns Hopkins, BitPay, Phillips 66, Gilead Sciences, Embark, SciAc, OurCrowd, Polaris, DLC, Northern Oil and Gas. And so an excellent project that Ethersquare is working on is called Database. And this is where he pulls everything together. So here's a graph regarding all of the new entities found for Foundry. From Q1 to Q2 to Q3, look at that growth. It's really impressive to see. Now, of course, not all of these new entities that get added to the database ultimately funnel through to a conversion on the actual product, but that's to be expected. And the more that Palantir can get new entities in, get new companies interested, get them onboarded, see if Foundry works for them, the more they can actually convert. And so this is growth of 113% from Q3 over Q2.
Rough math, it's 100% growth year on year. And then starting last year, not off of a small integral, which is obviously very important because, small numbers can grow quickly even if the software is not strong. Big numbers don't grow quickly if the software doesn't exist, especially given that our sales force is super nascent. And what you see here, obviously the CAGR here is just unbelievable, and in the 150 plus range. Really, as far as I know, we are the only software company in the world building transformational software this far in. And that's particularly important because most software companies have distribution or they have a product, but they don't have distribution, product, and ability to build new products, which is not a critique. These are great companies. They acquire companies. To the extent we get this to work, you could expect even higher growth than what we have, although I'm very happy with it. Was like we've doubled USG, US commercial now, from 50 to 100, 100, 200. I believe we will double it again this year. If you just look at that chart I showed you with the CAGR on Foundry, these are the most important programs for a dangerous world. Now, can't go into all the details, but we used to debate with people, especially my academic friends, if the world was dangerous. The danger of the world being clear and present doesn't guarantee that, when this integral actually, how it behaves, but it makes it much more likely that it will happen in year and positively affect our revenue, which is another reason why I suspect that we will do well.
Now let's zoom in here on the geographic breakdown. You'll see most of this commercial growth coming from the US, France, Germany, the UK, and a whole host of other countries. And the majority of Foundry link types are code names, some acronyms, but also mainly company names. What that code name tells you is the company does not necessarily want to be identified regarding their use of Palantir Foundry. They don't want their competitors to know, or it's just beginning to be a project for the company and they're working on onboarding. Very impressive developments over the last 3 months. So we've had obviously the US, the UK, Australia, France, and Germany with their own top-level domains. South Korea, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, Singapore, New Zealand, Canada, the UAE, and this is really great to see. To obtain access to the database, you can find the link in the description from Ethersquare, and if I were you, I'd strongly consider supporting him. But for the next minute, I want to talk about Moomoo, a company that I've been working with to provide you with up to 15 free stocks. Moomoo is a brokerage firm based in Palo Alto, California. I'm in the app on Palantir stock, but I want to show you how great it is to learn more about Palantir. You can head to the summary page, view shareholder holdings, and see the latest details on percentage ownership, share shares owned, changes over time, increases and decreases regarding positions. And here we get an earnings recap with revenues of $473 million and net income loss of $179 million. The business revenue composition breakdown, government coming in at 58% of revenue, regional with the United States at 57%. We can take a look at financial indicators, financial estimates going forward, the technical indicators, the company's valuation, the latest news. You can use Moomoo with a link in my description to learn more about Palantir and to buy, sell, or paper trade its stock. Thank you. I want to show you a few tweets from Maverick Equity Research regarding Palantir's price to sales and what has happened since the DPO. So when Palantir was making $1 billion in sales and estimates were $1.3 billion, the share price was $44. Now when Palantir is making $1.74 billion in sales and estimates are $2.1 billion, the price is $8. So what you're seeing here essentially with the benefit of hindsight is Palantir was overvalued in this area, and it appears Palantir is now undervalued in this area. Of course, this is going from a bull market to a bear market, but you get the idea regarding the fundamentals of the company. You just see the incredible growth from the top line and free cash flow improving steadily as well. And currently a 35% return potential is based on the consensus estimate of Wall Street, a low of $6 and a high of $20. That is, if Wall Street is correct on the stock, you would see a 35% return from where Palantir is to where the average price target lies at about $11 per share. I do not disagree regarding Palantir being above $10 before the end of the year. Now, if that happens, we'll have to wait and see regarding this Q3 earnings report. And Maverick Equity Research also brings up this very important note regarding Palantir pricing and private market transactions before going public in September 2020. So during January 1st, 2020 through August 21st, 2020, transactions occurred between $4.19 and $8.50. And so if you take transactions throughout 2020 and you take a closer look, you see $6.30 was the most recent buys and sells throughout that range. So it seems like the absolute floor for Palantir should be $5, but consider how much the company has advanced since 2020. I could go on and on about that, but I just wanted to share this interesting note. So I encourage you to follow Maverick Equity Research with the link in the description. Hopefully this whole video was helpful to give you a good understanding of what I'm thinking about going into the Q3 earnings report, and I will catch you in the next video. Until next time.